This is my 69 Camaro, and what I'm doing here is putting a rear patch panel for the floor. Actually, I have to do both sides. They both need some work. But the rest of the floor pan's pretty good, even the front's good, so I'm going to try to get away with this. And what I've done here is I started cutting here, but I had scribed a line across here, and I came across to here. What I'm going to do, obviously, is finish cutting that, and then try to use the original pinch weld here area. So there's some spot welds I'll have to do under here, and actually I think right here, because there's a brace under there. And then on this side, I'm going to cut it somewhere under the seat support here. I haven't decided where yet, but and so obviously you won't see anything from the top, but I'll have to do some welding from the bottom and, you know, grind and clean that all up. But we'll see how this goes. All right, I got the floor section out, and what made it a little more challenging is I wanted to take it out whole without hacking it all up, so I could just lay it into the new floor section and you know, basically trace it out and use it as a template, and it'll be pretty close, and then just finish fit it. And the way this thing goes here is this front section here goes under the seat support, and then the back obviously lays on top. And what this is right here is part of what the front spring shackle bolts to. And I opted to do a little joggle around here just because there's actually 4 layers right there, and you know, and this shackle support's one of them. It was just going to get a little bit too difficult just for that extra bit, so I'll just weld around there. But yeah, as you see, I'll use the existing pinch weld area and just do that like the factory, and then I'll butt weld this all the way around, and then I'll do the same underneath, and should minimize the grinding again with the way I'm doing it here, but we'll see. And yeah, and this is, if you look at the back side of the pinch weld area, it was a little difficult to get to, so what worked for me is I used a cutoff wheel at an angle and just ground the spot welds down, and then basically split the seam. So now I'm going to lay that in, use the template into the new one, the new floor section, and start fitting it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I got the new floor patch panel roughed out, and what I did is I got the old one that I use as a template, and I just basically traced around it, and I pretty much left 1/8 of an inch everywhere. There's my line, if you can see that. And I actually, you know, stayed away about 1/8 from that line. And it's real important to make sure you put this on the back side, so that when you flip it over, your patch panel is a little longer. Otherwise, it'll end up being short. Now, when I stick it this way, you can see it's pretty even. And that's with this on the back side. So that gives me a little more material to final fit it. So we'll see how that goes. And that's about it. I'll just do a little bit of, well, probably quite a lot of finish fitting to get it in there, and that'll do it. Something I should have mentioned earlier in the video is if you're using one of these 4.5-inch grinders with a cutoff wheel, they work fantastic. But if you're using it without the guard like I am, you have to be real careful, because it will bite you. Ask me how I know. But I just prefer to do it, but I'm as cautious as I can be with it. Just, you know, mainly for access and visibility, sometimes the guard gets in the way, but other than that, it works great. But I thought that was a real important point that I kind of overlooked with this video. All right, I got that fitted now. It came out pretty good. But I think when I get over to this side, I'm going to allow a little more than that 1/8 inch from the line that I drew, just because it came out almost size on size, and I don't mind a little more wiggle room than that. But I'll show you what it looks like underneath. As you see, this is the front, but when I weld this from under here, you won't see anything from the top, so I won't have to do anything up there because it's under the seat support bracket there. And then I'm going to weld it to the pinch weld area just like it was. And then in the back, you can't see much. They're only in the very corner that I'll have to grind up a little. Everything else is under the spring shackle bracket. And the only other real area is the tunnel side. And I'll have to obviously grind that, but that'll be easy. A lot of access there. And that'll be it. Wasn't too bad so far. I got the pan all welded in now. And as you see, I have it plug welded and butt welded here most of the way around, with exception of the pinch weld area. But underneath, I've plug welded that. And there that is. And once I grind those, they'll look like spot welds. And pretty much all I have to do now is just grind everything top and bottom, and the job's complete. So thanks for watching.